Bryce from Eden Condensed. Today we're going to plant a rose bush, and roses are another plant that really like to have a specialty soil. So I'm going to plant this in ground in my garden, but I'm going to amend the soil with some specialty rose and flower soil, so that way it'll get the nutrients that it needs. And I'll also use a little bit of fertilizer that is also formulated for flowers and roses. So the first thing that you'll want to do is to find a place in your garden that you want to start your rose garden. And roses generally like at least 6 hours of full sun a day. Now, I happen to be standing in the shade, but this part of my garden does get a lot of sun in the afternoon. So this is where we're going to plant it. The next thing you want to do is to dig a hole that's as deep as the root ball and a little bit wider. You can go up to twice as wide. I don't think you need to go quite that wide, but you can go up to twice as wide, but at least as deep as the root ball. And so I've pre-dug my hole here, and I've got my beautiful Eden rose here. Or actually, this one's called Ebb Tide. There should be, I think there is a rose called Eden, but we're going to do Ebb Tide today. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rose out of the nursery pot here. And sometimes they get a little bit stuck. You got to be careful with your thorns. Grab it by the base, and you just kind of want to ease it out. There we go. And you'll see it's already, the root ball's already starting to come apart a little bit here. And then you want to set it in your hole here and see how that fits. If you ended up digging your hole a little too deep, you can take some of the planting mix, the rose planting mix, and put a little mound underneath your rose to kind of push it up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do before I actually put the soil in and get it watered is I'm going to turn the plant just so we've got a nice shape facing forward in the bed, and then that way you'll be able to see the roses. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the rose and flower fertilizer, and this gives it a little extra boost for nice blooms. A little bit of that in there. And you can also use a liquid fertilizer when you're fertilizing your roses. This one actually hooks to the hose, and you can fertilize that way. I put some of my rose soil in the bucket here to make it a little easier, and I'm going to get that around there. And you want to backfill in, but the top of the root ball should be level with the top of the soil, so you don't want to mound it up around the bottom of it. And get that all nice and patted down there. The soil is going to settle as you water it, and that's going to give you a little well to add water. Roses need nice deep watering, so it's important that you set up a watering schedule where you're going to water it so that it's deep. If you're not sure whether it needs water, do the finger test, and you stick your finger in the ground, and if it feels moist, you're good. If it feels dry and crumbly, then you'll want to add some water to it. And then the last thing we're going to do is water the rose in. So I have my trusty watering can here, which you can use your hose. You can also set up a drip line to your rose bush. And I want to get a nice good soaking all the way around the hole and get the root ball nice and soaked. So I'm going to use about half of this 3-gallon watering can. And what you can do is you can, as you see the water come to the surface, stop for a moment or two, let the water soak in, and then water again one more time. So that's how you plant a rose using specialty soil, and I wish you happy gardening. See you on the next video.